Marquez, who is the Wing Senior Enlisted leader of the 366 Air Force. On behalf of the City of Mountain Home, Mayor Sykes here, I wanted to give a special, or I guess a conference speech really quick. And so bear with me as I read some of my tailored speech here. So obviously, good afternoon, everybody. And thank you for being here today. October 10th, 2025, the Honorable Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War and the Qatari Minister of Defense, announced a historic agreement that will bring Qatari Emiri Air Force training facility to the Mountain Home Air Force Base. On behalf of the City of Mountain Home and the entire community, I am honored and I am proud to welcome this significant partnership. This is more than just an expansion of operations at our base. This international partnership presents a milestone for Mountain Home and exemplifies the type of responsible strategic growth our community embraces. The addition of the Qatari F-15 aircraft and pilots will enhance combined training operations, increase interoperability between the allied forces, and further strengthen the vital role of the Mountain Home Air Force Base that already plays in our national and international security. Let me talk to you about this collaboration and what it means for Mountain Home really quick. First and foremost, this partnership will strengthen our economic foundation. Increased base operation means potential job creations, sustained investment in our community infrastructure, and continued support of our local economy. Our businesses, our families, and our communities will benefit from this growth. Second, this agreement enhances our global significance. Mountain Home is becoming recognized as a hub for international military cooperation and advanced technical training. That's something we all should take pride in. Our community, right here in Idaho, is playing a role on the world stage. Third, this represents measured, sustainable growth. We will not just continue to grow for growth's sake. We are expanding the base's mission in ways that align with our community's capacity and values. This growth we can manage, and growth we can be proud of. Fourth is the partnership that will foster cultural exchange. Our residents will have the opportunities to engage in international partners, to learn more about different cultures, and to broaden our community's global perspective. That's an enriching experience for everyone, especially our youth. And finally, we are committing to maintaining a quality of life. Growth must benefit our existing residents. Through careful planning and community-centered development, we will ensure that Mountain Home remains the wonderful place that we all have come to know and love. Now, I want to share something that I think is very important in the context of this partnership. According to the Experted Group in 2025, Qatar ranks as the 8th safest country in the world for foreigners to live in. It's the only Middle East nation that's on that list. Qatar maintains the second lowest crime rate globally and has stable governance and political peace and experiences minimal risk from natural disasters. We are partnering with a trusted and stable ally. This agreement reflects the trust that our nation and now our allies place on Mountain Home. That trust has been earned through years of dedication, hospitality, and unwavering support of our 366 gunfighters. As we move forward, we look forward to welcoming the Qatari partners with the same traditions of hospitality, professionalism, community support that has made Mountain Home a premier location for military excellence. This is an exciting day for Mountain Home. This day positions us for continued success, prosperity, and significance. And this day also reminds us that we are proud to call Mountain Home our home. I am now happy to take questions with Colonel Perez, if so inclined, from our partners at News. With that, fire away.
I'll start with one. You talked about some of those impacts for businesses and families in Mountain Home. In terms of the amount of people that are coming, tell me, is your infrastructure ready to take that on?
Yeah, yes. Right now, our infrastructure, wastewater, water, for right now, yeah, we are ready for that. It's no different than bringing another group of individuals or other partners to Mountain Home. We're always ready for the challenge. Mountain Home is innovative. We work very well with the 366 gunfighters. We'll definitely steal some of their great ideas, but also we're also innovative in the collaboration when it comes to making sure that we take this very seriously and make sure that everyone feels like a family here in Mountain Home.
We have heard maybe some concerns from those in the community, specifically about the water system. Is this going to put a strain on the water system? What would you like to say to some of those residents who are feeling some of those concerns right now?
So Mountain Home, we have about, I think it's about 3,000 EDUs worth of water availability for homes, for businesses and such. So right now, as it stands, Mountain Home only uses about 6% of the total aquifer. And right now, we are in line with what our water rights allow us to do. In the future, I know the county is trying to get a couple of pipelines coming from Anderson or from the Snake River to do aquifer recharge and then help irrigated agricultural, so they're not pulling so much water out of the aquifer. But for right now, we're fine as it stands. I mean, obviously, there's that 40,000 acre deficit that we're always talking about as it goes down. But for right now, we're going to work partnership and collaboratively with everybody. I know the Air Force Base is doing their pipeline, Snake River Pipeline Project. I think that's about 2 to 4% of the aquifer that they suck out of, and soon that they'll be able to take, their wells will be a redundant backbone compared to their Snake River water rights.
I'll let some others take over for a second.
Mr. Mayor, what misinformation seemed to have surfaced regarding this new training mission, and how has the city addressed those false claims?
What are the false claims? Because I'm not on social media too often.
Well, a lot of it was just people were just expressing concerns about this new mission here. They really didn't go into a lot of details. It just seemed like a lot of people were against this, and they were saying, we need to turn this off. That seemed to be the thing, although they didn't really dig into the details on that. Right,
and so I could tell you this, that, and I think Colonel Perez could probably answer better than I can, but the Air Force Base isn't giving them a base, and I'll let Colonel Perez expand on what the mission looks like for the Qataris.
Yeah, I think the key word here is hosting. We are excited to host the Qataris and partner with them at Mountain Home Air Force Base. This is nothing new. This has been in the works for, I think, as far back as 2017. These types of talks have been ongoing, and here we are. And I think we may not even see them until 2030. So there's still a lot of work to be done. But Mountain Home Air Force Base, we are really excited to host the Qataris and partner with them as they come here and train with us.
And I think to expand on that, Brian, is Mountain Home has been a composite wing. So we have the space. I think the Air Force Base just completed environmental, completed in 2022. Mm-hmm. Just for the Qataris. Since I've been mayor, I've been in talks going back to Langley, been going back to Washington, D.C. to have those discussions with our CODELs, with the generals, with the chief of the Air Force, and every year that we'd gone back, we'd like, okay, are they coming or are they not coming? And so it's been like a hurry up and wait kind of scenario.
And maybe if you could touch on something similar is happening, I believe, with Singapore. You have a partnership that looks similar of you're hosting other people from other countries. Is that a fair statement to say it's a similar operation?
Yes. Yep. We have a partnership with Singapore, and we join with them and we train daily with them, and we have some of the best airspace here in the country. And so it's exciting that the Singaporeans are here with us. And it's going to be equally as exciting when we get the Qataris here, just with those partnerships and working together and training. There's a lot of benefit, not only to the Qataris, but there's a lot of benefit to the men and women at Mountain Home Air Force Base across the base on just the training opportunities and stuff that we will have to embed with them and train with them and work with them. And
I think when you talk about airspace, right? So we have probably one of the best airspaces in the nation. No one can deny that. And we have a 366 that continues to train, fly, fight, and win. So if you take the Singaporeans, they have to travel over other people's airspace. In Mountain Home, Idaho, they're out in the airspace within 5 minutes. And I think the same with the Qataris. They have to fly over other people's airspace to get into a place where they can train. Mountain Home, they'll take off 5 minutes. They'll be out into one of the best training facilities or training ranges in the. I think I'm kind of biased. I'm going to say in the world, but I'll say in definitely in the nation, we are probably top 2, 3 in the nation.
You mentioned the environmental assessment that was completed in 2022. Obviously, you took office before that. You heard these plans. It's nothing new for you guys. It came maybe as a new announcement for others, maybe some who just moved here recently and haven't kept up with the last 10 years of plans. You mentioned it was kind of a wait and see when the go-ahead was given, and you've kind of been in those conversations. What accelerated it to get that go-ahead in 2025? Do we know why that announcement was made? That environmental assessment plan to have operations start in 2024. Obviously, that didn't happen. What can you tell us about the acceleration of the announcement last week?
I will tell you, as mayor, usually I'm probably one of the first to know if something happens on the base. I have a phenomenal relationship with the base and the wing command, the wing leadership, and they're the first ones to call, hey, this is coming down the pike, keep it close hold maybe until they put that out to press. This time, I got it at, I think it was like at 8 a.m. from a buddy of mine who's really close in the military. He was like, hey, have you seen this? And so my first call was, or actually the wing commander called me and goes, hey, just letting you know, we found out too. So I think we are all shocked, I guess. Not shocked in the aspect that it's finally inked, but just the press release or the information wasn't laid down or put down to all of us in a more efficient manner. But I digress. Either way, it's fine. We're a big family-oriented place. Mountain Home is one of the most diverse communities in Idaho because of that Air Force Base. You've got every culture you can imagine from that Air Force Base. We've got our Basques, we've got our Hispanic community. We have everything you can think of in Mountain Home, and that makes us better. And this is no different than any other culture or country. We've been training all sorts of contingencies, from the Germans to the French to everybody out at that training base.
In terms of the similar partner with Singapore, do you know how many people you saw come in from that? What did those impacts look like? You highlighted some of the positive ones. Are there any, not negative, but maybe logistics you're looking at that's going to impact your city?
Not at this time. I think right now it's kind of like a hurry up and wait. What it allows us to do quintessentially is letting us know, great, perfect. Now it lets us use our innovation, our skills, our brains to figure out, okay, where strategically would they want to be? We were in talks with the Qatari Royal Air Force and saying, hey, what do you want? How can we make a place that makes you feel at home or comfortable? Do you want to be ingrained inside city limits? Do you want to be in Meridian? Do you want to be in Boise? What do you want? And so those are still talks that are still happening today. Oh, I won't say today, but now that we know that they're coming, that gets us more expedited to make sure that we're taking care of everybody, and it's about that family vibe, family atmosphere, I think, for sure.
And you said 2030 is when we're kind of expecting maybe for the mission to get started.
Kind of expecting. I like how you put that.
Yeah. We're estimating.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I don't know if maybe you could talk more about those plans. An environmental assessment kind of outlined flight paths and maybe where we would see some housing go up and hangars. Is that still ideally the plan, or are we also working through what that will look like at the base still?
I think we're still working through what that would look like. So you made a comment earlier about what'd you say? You made it seem like it sped it up, kind of made it. And I don't look at it as a sped up. I look at it more as like, okay, it's been solidified. We've been talking about this. We've known that this was coming. And now the Secretary of War had said, yep, here's the agreement. This is occurring. I think that allows us to continue on with the planning and to solidify more things as we start to work with being able to host them the best we can here at Mountain Home Air Force Base. There's still a lot of work to be done, and we're excited about getting after that.
What role did the city and you, Mayor, have in the discussion of the facility?
The facility is in terms of hosting the Qataris. So I'll tell you, in 2017, well, I took office in 2016. 2017 is when that I remember the discussions really taking forth, right? And so we talked about the Saudis, and then the Saudis was a no-go, and then we talked about the Qataris, and then so fast forward to today. They flew myself and our military liaison, Marty Anderson, out to Qatar to talk to their Air Force and what their needs are, what they expect, and all that good stuff in 2023, May of 2023. And so I've got to witness how phenomenal they are. They are probably the most westernized country in the Middle East. They are open to a lot of things. Their culture is very opening. They host us. It was very warm, very welcoming. I will say it was probably one of the neatest, most amazing experience I've got to have in my lifetime. And then the way they interacted with myself and Marty and the rest of the mayors that went on that trip, it was phenomenal. And we learned a lot. And knowing that their future isn't just, and this is just my opinion, their future can't just rely on gas and oil for forever. So they are really embracing the Western culture, and that's what we had talked about. So we had talked about what do you need here moving forward in the future. And so we sat down and we, no pun intended, cussed and discussed of what does that look like. And so right now it's all in the works. We're still working on the housing, some of the infrastructure. What do you really want in terms of where you're going to locate your Air Force pilots? Because the maintainers are going to be, from what I'm understanding, Colonel Perez, is they're going to be contractors. Like the Singapore has PKL out there that maintains and all that good stuff. So I think the Qataris are going to do the same thing as do contracting. So for us, for Mountain Homians, that's jobs, that's sustainability and economic driving force for the city of Mountain Home. It's been a great partnership with the Singapores, and I can only fathom what it's going to be like with the Qataris.
Just to confirm, though, because Peace Carbon 5, they came as families. During my time in Korea, I was there on a remote tour. Now, is this looking like we are going to have people here in a similar situation where they're going to be here essentially deployed for 6 months before they return to their home station, or will they be bringing their families with them?
I'll let you take that one, Colonel Perez.
Yeah, so all that stuff is still in work. I'm not sure of the timing of how long they will be here and what their tours will consist of, to include if they will bring their families and whatnot. The Singaporeans bring their families with them, but their tour lengths could very well be different than what the Qataris decide to do. So I can't really speak to that.
So Brian, I've been told that right now, at this point in time, it'll just be the pilots. Yeah. And I think it's a 6-month rotation.
That's the talks right now.
The talks right now, it's a 6-month rotation. So pretty much not enough time to bring your families and get them ingrained in the culture of great state of Idaho.
All right. Actually, if we could, Colonel Perez, what message do you have to those from Qatar planning to come to this space to conduct their training here?
Thank you. Really, really excited to host them. I spent some time in Qatar back in the early 2000s, and very much what the mayor said. They are great hosts. They're just it's a great culture, and we're super excited to host them here. Really, really excited to get them embedded and get some training done. And I'm really excited at the training that our airmen here at Mountain Hope Air Force Base will get working with them too.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else, guys? Last but not least, thank you for taking your time. I know you guys have a whole state that you guys are covering, but for right now, for Mountain Home, we appreciate you coming out here and taking the time. And to me, when you spent that time, you can't get it back. So on behalf of the city of Mountain Home, thank you for sharing your time with us today. So I know Brian lives here with us, but for everybody else, thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
Mystery Mountain Marathon this weekend in Chatworth, Georgia.
Yeah? You sore?
It was 26.2 miles.